I can't believe that it's already time for week 1 of RealmAthon. RealmAthon is a competitive team-based readathon that I'm hosting this month. We have 4 realms going to school at Judicium Academy. They are battling it out against each other in a realm war to be top of the leaderboard. You'll be reading books all month long, either to gain positive points for your realm or to take points away from another realm by reading books for negative points. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll leave the announcement video down below for anyone who wants to check it out. I, as the high priestess of the school, am spending a week in all of the realms in order to earn them some points, but I can't make decisions myself, so I have a spinning wheel. Each week I'm gonna spin this to figure out which realm I'm in, and we need to do that right now together because it is Friday. Kickoff sprints start in a couple hours, and I need to pick my first read of the readathon. I have to find something to put this on. Give me 1 second.
Any frame building attempts later.
I think that works. For week 1, it looks like I'll be reading for the Realm of Blood. So I need all my red books. I'll be reading red books for a week. These are all the books on my physical TBR that I think count as a majority red cover. My priority for the week will probably be these 2. I need to read the Bloodstones this month for my Patreon book club anyways, and King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair is really calling my name. I would also probably like to continue on in the 5th season series, so the Obelisk Gate could also be calling my name. I will start one of these on kickoff sprints, and I'm really excited just to see everybody in the comments everywhere all month long. There are 400 people here chatting, and everyone keeps giving me super chats, and I am so overwhelmed with love. I love you all so much. I can't believe how many people are at kickoff sprints. I have never had this many people at like a live show before at once. It's amazing. It's truly amazing, and I am so overwhelmed and stressed, but it makes it all worth it to see how much everyone's enjoying it. So like, really thank you so much for always interacting and commenting on things. It truly means the world to me. I'm gonna start reading now because I need to get those points in for Team Blood. I did decide to move upstairs so that I could be comfy on like the couch. Also have good internet because my downstairs couch has really spotty internet for some reason. So I did move upstairs, which also like the sunlight feels really nice. But I got about 100 pages into this. I don't know who I was kidding. I've been live for 4 hours. I have 4 hours left to go on these live sprints. I thought today I could finish a book, and I'm only 100 pages in. I'm halfway through sprints. How did I think I was gonna finish a book? And honestly, I'm loving this. Like truly, really enjoying my time with this. My attention span, just not here. It is non-existent. I read a paragraph and I'm sucked into that paragraph, but then my phone vibrates and I need to go check Discord or Instagram, or I need to look at the comments to make sure no one's asking a question. And it's just like the first day of RealmAthon has taken over my life and made it harder to read. I did order food, and so I'm excited for food to maybe help like organize me. Like sometimes you just feel like I need more energy to focus on things, so I'm hoping food will help. But I'm 100 pages in. The synopsis of this is so hard. I read the back, and I feel like the back tells you nothing about the first 100 pages, really. It tells you only about the first chapter. And I don't know if that was on purpose, but I also kind of wish I knew a little bit more going into the story. So I think I'm going to tell you the synopsis that I would have liked to know going in. So in this book, we're following a world where traitors are killed and their names are taken away. The first chapter, we see this happen. We see a traitor killed because this person killed the king's son. Now people are really starting to worry because the king doesn't have an heir. And what does that mean? According to tradition, the king will pick a new heir from the sons of his counselors. The main POV we're following this is Garen, who is the 3rd son to one of these counselors. The counselors are like advisors to the king. They're very well respected, essentially like noblemen. Garen doesn't really think that much will happen in his life when one day he is kidnapped and taken elsewhere and essentially put into a training setting to train him to be someone else that he is not. And that's all we know at this point. But we are following other people. We have gotten a POV that I will not tell you about because I think it's a bit of a spoiler. And we've also gotten the brothers POV, and I really like the brothers POV. I think eventually we get a female POV as well, which I'm interested in getting to. For the first 100 pages, I think the setup is really good. I'm really liking the writing style. I think it's so strong. It is a little dense, so it takes a little bit to read and get into, but overall I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the setting, the world building, the POVs, all of that. I'm really excited to keep reading. Okay, it has gotten late. I am heading to bed, but I have made it 175 pages into the Bloodstones, so I made a good indent today, which Considering how unorganized my brain felt today, I'm calling that a win. I definitely didn't finish the book like I thought I might, but I think I made a pretty good indent. I think I'm about 30% in. I'm really enjoying this. I'm struggling a little bit with the female POV that we were introduced to later on, but I truly think that's because her POVs currently feel like setup because we weren't introduced to her until about page 100 versus the other POVs we were introduced to earlier. So hers still feel like a lot of setup and like getting to know her and everything around her versus the other POVs currently I'm like really intrigued by because I've already gone through the setup. So I'm struggling with her POVs just because I'm way more interested in the other POVs. But not necessarily because her POVs are bad or anything. But overall, like, I just think that Tori's writing is really strong. I am actually shocked by the quality of this. I can often struggle with epic fantasy because they feel very dense and dry. And although I would call this dense, I would not call it dry. I'm really, really enjoying how detailed this feels, how well developed it feels. I'm very, very, very impressed with this story so far. I'm really intrigued too. That's a wrap for day 1 of RealmAthon. I feel very blessed by how many of you hung out with us today. So thank you so much if you were around in sprints or if you signed up for the readathon or anything. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll continue to be sappy all week probably. RealmAthon brings the sappy casty out because, I don't know. I just really appreciate everyone for participating in it. Look at the camera. Up here. Look. Say hi. He's camera shy today. Oh, look at him. You're famous. They all love you. Good morning. It's Sunday. I skipped a day. Yesterday, Nick took me out for lunch for hitting 10K. I cannot believe I hit 10K. Thank you so much for all the incredible love and support. It's amazing. I'm mostly in shock. So my boyfriend was very, very nice to me and he took me out for lunch. I say like this as if he doesn't take me out for lunch like every weekend. He spoils me with food quite a bit. And then we looked at another house. Yesterday's house looking was so awkward because it had tenants in it and we had to go to a showing with the tenants there, so they were just watching us. So we felt like we couldn't say anything and it was very awkward. And I do not like looking at houses when there's someone like living in them, not to mention when there's someone like watching me who lives in them. I don't think we'll be getting that one because we barely looked at it because both Nick and me just felt so awkward. We felt like we couldn't like move anything to look at things. Like we wanted to look at the furnace, but they were like standing right there and it was just not it in my opinion. We are here to talk about a book though, so I can do that for you. Of course, I'm using the Realm of Blood bookmark all week. So I made it page 233. According to the ebook, I'm 53% in. So I've made a really good chunk, a really good dent in this. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm predicting a 4-star at this point. At first, I thought this could give me 5-star vibes. It's got a lot of buzzwords in it. I was liking all the POVs. And then when Sindri was announced to us, I really started to struggle. Whenever we're in Sindri's POVs, I for some reason just cannot focus on the words. There's something about her that doesn't work for me. I'm hoping I'll get more used to her and I'll like her as a character as things go on. She feels very much not attached to the rest of the story, which I don't always need in my stories, but I think because all the other POVs feel very connected, hers feels very distanced and it's making me struggle to connect a little bit. Because I'm like, why do I need to be paying attention to this? Like, this doesn't feel important to me. Obviously it is. Otherwise, Tori wouldn't have put it in the book. But my brain is processing it like that. So yeah, I am struggling just a little bit now. The other POVs are like 5-star vibes for me. So we're meeting in the middle somewhere probably at the end of this. I'm gonna hop on Tori's sprints this morning. So I will get a decent chunk of reading done in that. And then I do need to pack a few more bookmarks. I feel like bookmark packing never ends. Which I also kind of need stamps to pack my Patreon bookmarks before Nick and me go to the cabin for the week. So I need to run out, but it's very snowy and cold out and I really don't want to go anywhere. So we will see if that gets done. Otherwise, the Patreon bookmarks might get packed a little bit later. Who wants to brave the cold? Not this girl. I would rather snuggle with Mickey all day.
Made your heart race there. You wanted I-28 and then you said I-27. B13 N44.
I finished this one and I'm really excited because I'm giving this 4 stars. Female POV in this that begets Sindri never connected to the rest of the story for me in this one. I think we will see her connect in later books, but for this book itself, I just never really understood why I needed her POV, which made me struggle with her POV. And because it came so much later in the book, I think that also just didn't help me. I loved all the other POVs. Specifically, Garen, I was always intrigued by what was going on in his setting, what was happening to him, how he as a character was going to react and how that was going to shape him. I liked the ending of this. This truly does feel like a setup book. If you read epic fantasy, you know the first book is set up. This is slow. It is slow paced. You are on a journey with these characters and this author. You are really learning to love them, to understand them, to see why they make the choices they make. Tori can write a damn good world, in my opinion. This world feels very, very well developed to me. The politics that were going on, I understood. I thought that characters made the choices that I think people in that scenario would make. I really think that this felt very polished to me. I really enjoyed it. I'm very intrigued about where it goes from here. It may have been a little bit long. As I said, it is a setup book and we're setting up a lot and I'm so intrigued about book 2. I will put a disclaimer that Tori did send this to me. I know Tori, I've been on Tori's channel before. However, that does not change my review at all. I am a very, very honest reviewer, I can tell you that. If I hated this, I would sit here and tell you I hated it, but I did not. In a lot of ways, it kind of reminds me of a writing style mix of Robert Jordan meets Brian Stavely. And I don't know, I really just think that you should pick it up. If you are an epic fantasy person, if you're trying to get into epic fantasy, if you picked up A Touch of Light because I loved it, pick this one up and give it a try. Does this cover not just instantly make you want to pick a book up? Because it does for me. Also, this book is just stunning in general. Love and care that was put into making this book. Impeccable. Like, look at the runes on this page. You can see all the runes. There are like artworks when you get into like different parts. I do definitely have like little complaints. One thing that bothered me was new words in the fantasy world. The way they're written is as if everyone would know what they mean because they are a saying in that world, which does make sense. However, as a reader, I was like, what the heck does that mean? And I had to go look up in the glossary. I think that's one of my bigger complaints. But overall, I really, really liked this and I think you should read it. This is gonna get me a lot of points for Team Blood. Will get me 20 points for being 490 pages. And I will be using positive points for this and defending the Realm of Blood. A teacher's pet, a casty fave, a required read, an even amount of letters in the title. It did win my poll on Patreon. And then I did read it in multiple formats this week because I did use the audiobook as well as the physical book as well as the ebook. And then it is the cover color. I would call this 50% red in my opinion. It is the cover item. There's a person on the cover and there is a school setting in this. So this was a chonker of a point thingy for me. That's it for tonight. I'm going to bed. I have a photo shoot in the morning and then Nick and me are heading to the lake tomorrow as well. So I need to pick another read in the morning, but for now I'm gonna watch Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm so close to the end. I'm on the final season. I'm very excited to be caught up with it. Made it to the cabin. Yesterday I kind of took the day off. I didn't really read. I just kind of hung out with Nick. We finished Avatar, The Last Airbender, the live action on Netflix. I did enjoy it, but the anime is definitely a lot better in my opinion. So if you have not seen the animated show, please go watch it. It is one of the best in my opinion. And I recently found out that Nick has not continued. He watched the animated Avatar, but he hadn't watched Korra. And I honestly like Korra pretty much as I liked the Avatar one. So we may also need to continue that now, but also we're still making our way through One Piece. I think we will be making our way through One Piece for the next 5 years of our life because there are so many episodes. I started King of Battle and Blood. I'm only a chapter in. Why did the sun decide to come out? 15 pages, but my initial thoughts are really good. I do like the writing style. I have actually tried the A Touch of Darkness series by the same author, and I just didn't vibe with the story, but I liked the writing in that, so I have high hopes for this. I just am a vampire girly through and through. I like vampire books, so the fact that this has vampires in it leaves me very, very, very excited. I still blame Edward Cullen for starting my vampire love, but there's been a few more vampires since since that time. I definitely like a darker vampire than the sparkling vampire kind these days. And I think I'm gonna get it in this one. Our main character also feels very feisty already. I feel like I got a lot of good character development and world building set up in this first chapter, which has me excited for the rest of the story. So it is Tuesday already. I'm really falling behind. I need to kick my reading up, but we are at the lake now and I don't have a lot to do other than read, so I'm hoping to get done this and probably another book this week.
I have not read much more, but I think it's time to go in the hot tub, make myself a drink, and get in the jacuzzi and have a relaxing little soak. Also, if you were at 72 Hour Sprints, this is what I meant by bathrobe. Not whatever little cardigan thing Monica had. Look, it even has my name in it. Perfect hot tub thing. I've gotten to page 100. I personally don't like how quickly sex comes into this book and this relationship. I was okay with like the lust and stuff, but being 100 pages in and having them already be really into the smut isn't my preferred type of fantasy romance. I really wish there was a little bit more tension. I was okay, I think, because they're vampires, with her like lusting over him and being like, I can't feel this way because I literally hate his kind and he's going to destroy the human race. But something really just switched in that like last chapter because they get married. If you don't know, this story is about our princess who is forced into an alliance with the vampire king. The vampire king is conquering the entire world, and if she does not marry him, he will kill her entire nation. And so they just got married. So they had to consummate their marriage, and I knew that was coming. The way the scene happened in order to avoid non-consent was too consensual considering who they both are. I kind of just wish they had like pretended to consummate the marriage. I didn't like the way it went about. I'm not sure this is going to be for me. I'm gonna give it another 100 pages because I liked the scenes in the vampire camp. I think that there's going to be some found family within the vampire camp, and I'm hoping I'll get more of that. If I continue to feel on the fence on this, I think I will DNF it, especially knowing that Mel didn't love it. And we typically have similar tastes, so I think, I don't know, I'm not sure about this one. I am about to go make dinner. We're gonna have beef bulgogi rice bowls tonight, and I'm really excited about that. I told you not to pick your nose.
They rubbed it that time. Itchy.
Do we have a dinosaur in the room with us? Good morning. It is, what day is it? What day is it?
Why are you asking me? It's on my vlog.
But I don't remember what day it is.
It is Wednesday, low gangsters.
Okay, good morning. It's Wednesday.
Wednesday, my dude. No, you've never seen that.
Oh. Good morning, it's Wednesday. I did read quite a bit yesterday. I got to 50% of King of Battle of Blood before going to sleep last night. I honestly pretty much fell asleep reading. I was like, I can't keep my eyes open, and I was just keeping reading, and then I was like, wait, I missed that sentence because my eyes were closing. So I am actually really liking it, which is exciting because at the 100-page mark, I was very, very unsure. I really like the found family aspect that's happening within the Vampire Society, and I really like the world building and again the conversation on history being written by the victor, but not only being written by the victor, but sometimes just where you are location wise changing what you know. I think that is a really interesting conversation that's happening throughout the story. I also do like our two characters together. It is a little bit insta-lovey, a little bit lusty, and there is a lot of smut, more smut than I enjoy in my stories. I think though, because it's a vampire story, I don't care as much because I feel like the lore behind vampires is very lustful, so it does make sense to me. And I don't know, I like that she can hold her own, but she's also willing to ask for help, and I think that that is a really strong quality in a female main character. And I really like him. I can't lie, I like him. He seems like a good commander. His like squad of vampires really likes him. I don't know, I'm overall really enjoying this. The plot has definitely started. There's a lot of cool world building with like the witches being burned at the stake and then that killing the environment and what that means. I'm shocked by how political this is, so I've been really enjoying it. I'm going to try and finish this today. I would actually like to finish this and maybe start Iron Widow, which my camera's on top of. Or, I don't know, I'm thinking about starting another book with blood because both books I've read this week have had blood in the title and I just feel like that would be fun. But I would only have today and Thursday to finish a book because Friday starts my new vlog. So I'm not sure, I'd probably have to be short. But I'll keep you updated throughout the day. Would you like to say goodbye to the vlog?
Goodbye. That was a crazy voice crack.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Oh, I look disgruntled because somebody surprised me and made me cry. Happy tears. But I guess you could just watch.
In honor of Cassie hitting 10K, I was going to try and surprise her. I suck at surprises, but I had this spur of the moment idea, so I sneakily got some things before we came out here and set this up. She almost caught me yesterday, but didn't, so I'm gonna try and find somewhere to put my camera to get her reaction without her noticing.
Oh! Sir, did you do this? Are you listening? Why? And do you actually need a log? Why? Yeah, that happened. Working. I don't know how to process emotions, so we are gonna move on and we're gonna talk about the book. I finished it. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed a lot of things in it. It had too much smut for my personal taste. It wasn't my favorite smut in the world. It wasn't the worst, but I think because of how much it was, I just got tired of it. I was like, how many times can I read the same scene? Like, really? But I did like the plot in this. I did like our characters. I think it could have been 100 pages longer. I think the ending 30% felt a little bit rushed to me with all the revelations we were having and things like that. Overall, I enjoyed this. I do think I will continue on in this series. I had a good time. I never really felt like it was a chore to read, which is always a good thing. I really liked the world building in this. I thought the vampire lore and the reason for the vampires and the witches and the humans against the witches and the vampires was a very interesting concept. So this was a win for me. We do need to attack some people with this one. I had put up a Patreon poll to see who I was going to attack. I did a bed emoji for the Realm of Time because I feel like go to bed at nighttime. Funny, huh? I did a sun emoji for the Realm of Creation. I feel like the sun helps things grow and create things. And then I did a sunset emoji for the Realm of Shadows. We're going into night and I feel like that's when the shadows come out. It's really not, but it's just like dark. Technically shadows come out during midday scientifically. But I feel like I associate shadow power with nighttime. The sleeping emoji did win, so we will be attacking the Realm of Time. This book is 405 pages, so I will get 20 positive points for the Realm of Blood for page length. And then attacking wise, the title has a team related word. It does have the word blood in it, so that definitely counts. I don't think this is initial, so I won't count it for that, but I want to say it is because of the saint part and it being ST instead of the word saint. But I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. But it is in a host RealmAthon video because I told the host that they can use their own and this was in my TBR. So there's that. It is an anti-recommendation because Mel actually did not like this. Her review literally says this was not for me. And we have very similar tastes, so I probably should have listened to her, except for I liked it, so I'm happy I didn't. This definitely has romance in it, so it's a book featuring romance, and it is definitely also about revenge, so a book featuring revenge. And now I gotta move on to one more book. I have time, I think, tonight and tomorrow to read a shorter book, so I have to figure out what I'm going to read for that, and I will keep you updated. I'm hopping on Kristen's sprints tonight, so I will get some reading done then. I have decided to DNF Iron Widow. I made it to 50% so that I can counter for points, but this is just not it for me. I was excited for a lot of the buzzwords that people have told me about this. A main character, a female character who has been told that she has to be a certain way and is breaking the boundaries and the bonds that people have put on her and society has put on her. So I was really, really excited. This follows a story, like the plot of the story is that in this world there are like cyborg robot planes that males can pilot, but only by using the energy of a female and essentially killing that female. And we follow our female, who is one of the people that is going to die, but instead of dying, she takes over and kills the male. For me, the story just wasn't subtle enough. I prefer stories that are making me as the reader think and changing my opinions instead of just telling me about my opinions being changed. This very much told me the world was sexist, told me how I should be thinking, told me this is what's going on, this is how you should feel about it, which is okay. I agree with all the emotions it's trying to get out of me. I just prefer my stories to be more subtle than this is, to work to change my mind instead of just telling me to change my mind. So it just didn't work for me. It's very much a female rage story, and that's incredible, but I felt like the character lacked anything other than female rage, and I'm DNFing it. This will get me 10 points for being red, as well as 10 points for having a person on the cover. I didn't get to any page count points because I DNF'd it, and 50% is at like 190, so I won't hit the mark to get us page count points. And I am going to attack a realm again. I put up another poll. I need to look at what's winning. This poll I did based on the realm's magic. It's at 41% right now, so I am going to screenshot it and tell someone to vote. Actually, I'm gonna text Mel. Vote in poll. I need a winner. While I wait for Mel to do that, let's talk about what amount of points we will be attacking with, and then we'll go check to see who the winner is. I always start at the bottom and I go up because the most points are at the bottom. I will be using a book featuring romance, a book featuring revenge. It's definitely both of those. A book featuring death. There's a lot of death. It is a new to me author, and I think that's all I can use for this. Okay, Mel has not voted yet, so I will let you know on the screen when I finally have a winner. But I used the eagle for shadows because when I talked about the realm, I talked about how you could use your shadows to make wings, and the emoji of the eagle has its like wings up. I used a phone for creation because I talked about how they could use animals to send messages, and I feel like you use a phone to call someone and send a message. And then I used a TV for time because time gets like little visions when they touch an object. So I thought a TV would be a good way, like you would see the vision. But yeah, I'll let you know right here what I attacked. And you can all blame Mel because she was my vote.
It is our last day at the lake this week. We're leaving tomorrow, but Nick made me a little breakfast sandwich, and I have an irrational fear that I have to cut all of my fruit in case there's a bug in it. So he even cut up my grapes because I know that's crazy, but I have to cut everything in half to eat it. My sister arrived, and she brought us crumble. How thoughtful of her. Oh, I hear a porposaurus. Ooh, these look good. I love this one.
They have a cutter. Now,
Cutter?
it's like a thing, and you just like put it on top of the cookie, and it cuts it in 4, and then you can cut it in 8. But I was like, is this
It's
just
not
expensive?
necessary, but...
I don't
Hello!
remember what the flavors are, but they all sounded pretty decent, so I just thought, oh.
Hello!
I've made it home. My week at the cabin is done and over with, and I'm sad. I'm sad that I don't have a hot tub to go into every day. I would do anything. I would literally do anything to have a hot tub at my house. I just love going and soaking for like 20 minutes with my e-reader and like reading in there, and it just feels so nice and like relaxing no matter the weather. And I'm so sad I don't have one at my house. That is the #1 thing I look forward to every day at the cabin. But I am home. It is Friday, so this is the end of my first week of RealmAthon and the start of my next one. I do have a little sneaky secret to tell you before you go. which is exciting. However, before I tell you, if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a vampire emoji. And I need to remind everyone before you hear the little secret, please do not talk about it in Discord for the first 3 hours this video is up, and then when you are talking about it, make sure to put spoiler tags. I will delete anything I see without a spoiler tag. Really, really am thankful that so many of you come, participate, and watch all my videos, so this is for you. If you've had no idea what I was talking about this entire video, the announcement video is right here. It's a whole lot of fun. If you're just looking for more of my videos to watch, check out this one. It's one of my favorites. And for your little sneaky tidbit, the team in last place is currently the Realm of Blood. Have a great day.